What's good? This is To a Front, but this is not the show. This is a Get to Know the Gents. I'm Jay.
This is Chuck on the other chair.
The first question, actually, Chuck.
Yeah?
This one, prep for. Is Chuck your real name?
No. My full name is Ntlagani. Chuck came about as one of the many nicknames that pop up in my life. And for this part of my life, Chuck. And for the show, I guess, Chuck works.
And I'm Wilson.
Okay.
All right, to get into the other questions. All right, Chuck. Top 5 favorite athletes of all time.
Man, I thought about this, and I just have this list, but yeah. Okay, so it's Manny Pacquiao, Cristiano Ronaldo, Roger Federer, and I've got 2 MMA guys. I didn't think I'd like MMA this much, but Max Holloway and Amanda Nunes.
Okay. So for me, it would be Leo Messi, Serena Williams, Roger Federer, Michael Schumacher,
Okay.
and LeBron James. Those are my top 5.
All right. What is your favorite sporting moment?
So, just missed out on the top 5 favorite athletes. Jacques Kallis. We went to watch the Proteas at Centurion once upon a time, and actually witnessed him scoring a century. There in person, seeing Jacques Kallis score a century, nothing beats that.
Okay, mine has to be a bit different, and yeah, it's personal. That's when we play indoor football, because it's a personal experience. I'm doing the thing that I love with the people that I love. So, as much as we started horribly in that first season,
how egotistical is Chuck? Like his favorite sporting moment includes him,
yeah.
where he's not even an athlete. But nah, that's that. Oh, Chuck, your favorite moment is when I was there, like giving you passes. That's amazing. Your lowest sporting moment.
Yeah, you'd argue that this is not a sport, but for me, it's when Shawn Michaels defeated Bret Hart. I know. I was very young,
Your dreams were
and I
crushed
believed in the script.
by fake stuff.
I believed in the script, and Bret Hart was my guy. But funny thing is, then fast forward a couple of years later, HBK is my guy now. So I don't know how that worked out, but for me, you know how wrestling, your guy beats the 3 count. 1, 2, he's supposed to get up. Like after 10 minutes of fighting, however they do it, he didn't get up. I was like, what happened, So, yeah, that's my lowest moment.
And then you switched allegiances. No, we rappel. Wow.
And it was a proper job, that one.
So mine would have to be 2008 Wimbledon final, Roger Federer losing to Rafael Nadal. We didn't even get to watch that match because we were traveling back home. Checking the score on the internet, at some point it was 2-0 to Nadal. Then for whatever reason, decide to check it again, and it's like 2-0. Now the excitement is all the way up.
Hope.
And then finally checking the score, and he's lost it. And you seeing all the comments, greatest match of all time. It's like, nah, screw that, man. This is the greatest heartbreak of all time. So never been able to get over that. Never gonna be able to get over that. So that's the low moment for me.
Okay, moving away from sports, what would you say is your favorite movie?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. It is Gladiator.
Yes, I've sort of known that.
It's Maximus, and it's because of Maximus. It's Gladiator.
Okay, I thought long and hard, and I still can't really pick, but I would say at the top of my head now, Talladega Nights and Rock and Roller. Those are 2 that I'd put up. I might change my mind like months or years to come.
Okay, who's your favorite music artist?
It would have to be J. Cole, currently. If you had asked me 10 years ago, I'd probably say Lil Wayne. But the thing that I like about J. Cole is that, one, I like hip-hop, obviously, but the fact that for me, he's created a sound that I like, and he's continued that sound. You find artists that tell you, Gucci, I've matured, I've grown, and they give you other music. It's like, no, that's not why I liked your sound. It's not why I got onto whatever it is that you're making or whatever it is that you sound like. So for me, he's been consistent, good albums, and so that's why I say so.
My favorite artist of all time is Kanye West, up to the point of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. After that, I don't roll with that dude. Currently, I'd probably say Sleeping at Last. But yeah, my favorite artist of all time is Kanye West, from College Dropout right up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Wait, does that include Yeezus?
No, because that's after that.
Okay.
So everything after that, like that,
right,
I don't know that dude.
Who would you say is your favorite superhero?
it's Captain America.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
no.
Superman for the longest time, and then Chris Evans happened with the Marvel
Did the
Cinematic
switch happen
Universe.
at that point?
Yeah, like
Ah.
it's Captain America. It's Chris Evans as Captain America, and as such, it's Cap.
Okay, for me, it has to be the only god in the MCU.
The
That's
Thunder
Thor, for me. And I mean, when you read the description that he came after Hulk, who was the strongest superhero or rather character that they'd made, the next level was Thor. So for me, regardless of anything that you see in the movies, that is the strongest Avenger, according to me.
According to you, Chuck. According
to
you.
Wikipedia.
Okay, back to the footy. Why do you support the football teams that you do? So for you, that would be Orlando Pirates, Manchester United.
Mm-hmm. So with Orlando Pirates, I think it was just by association. There were just a lot of people at the time when I was growing up. This is now around grade 1, grade 2, who supported Orlando Pirates. This includes our transport, to include my cousin. So eventually, after watching I think it was Charity Spectacular, the one that we won 10-9, that cemented for me, like, nah, this is the team, you know? So after all the influence, this for me was the team. And then with Man United, I remember getting a book that listed all the Premier League teams and their achievements throughout the ages. Well, apart from Man United, a name that stuck out to me as well, I can't even tell you why, is Aston Villa. I just remembered Aston Villa and Man United in that book.
He could have been a villain.
And so the other things that happened is that in that book, you were able to, as a activity book, take stickers at the back of the book and stick them in correspondence with the teams and their achievements. So paging through the book, I'm like, oh, so Man United actually won a lot of things, you know, and I gravitated towards them and ended up taking a whole lot of stickers, putting them in their place, even if they were not won by Man United or the number accumulated by Man United. And so for me, that's just been my team and in the right area as well, Sir Alex Ferguson, so it justified everything.
So for me, 3 teams: Sundowns because of my dad, Arsenal because of my dad. Real Madrid is the team that I chose for myself, and the reason I chose Real Madrid is because that Champions League night at Old Trafford when Redondo does the thing that he does against Manchester United, because United were the enemies of Arsenal, and I was like, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that's how I came to Real Madrid.
And so the other ones are just your dad, pure influence.
Yeah,
what he's riding with, you're riding with.
It's one of those, like, this is the team you support, and it's like, okay, is there a sport you can't stand?
I thought long and hard, and I think it has to be golf. It's just too slow, man. I'm just thinking, you know, with the whole vibe, if you were there center court watching Roger, if you were there at the stadium watching your favorite team, if I was there in Bay Golf, I just see whoever tee off and then sing media lap, and then what next? Then we follow the ball. Yeah, it's just too boring, man. It's just too boring.
So for me, it has to be like these Olympic sports, like archery and bowls, and watching that, like, thinking to myself, why are people winning gold medals for this? This is something that you do
Curling.
at a camp as a kid, where you are like doing archery, and then you're gonna win a gold medal, the same thing that a Usain Bolt is gonna win for being the fastest man in the world. Come on, man.
So I think they're filler sports in the Olympic, just imagine, Jay.
It really is just like filling up the program, and for me, it's just like that needs to go.
If you could meet one sports personality, who would it be and why?
David Beckham, like,
The man, the boy.
because it's David Beckham. David Beckham is like my ultimate idol, bar none, period, sport, whatever other platform. It is D-Bex. Like, even though, as I told you, I support Real Madrid because they were doing Amaza against Manchester United, and I hated Manchester United. The dude with that blonde haircut falling by his cheeks, who then marries the Spice Girl, that guy was just like, he just left a different impression. To this day, that's the one dude I'd want to meet from, like, the sporting world.
For me, although we're hearing him speak a lot now, it would have to be Paul Scholes, because he's always been so reserved, and you wonder, like, what is he like off the pitch? I mean, alternatively to that, I want to meet all the bad guys in sports. Like, why did you do that? What were you thinking? But in terms of the one guy I'd meet, it would have to be Paul Scholes.
So you want to ask Mike Tyson why he bit off his ear?
I'd love to know, like,
what's going through your head? What's going through your system?
After Tour de France #1, you did it again and again, and I mean, obviously it's not the cleanest sport, but
you know what? Like, I would go with Lance, except for the fact that I feel like he's gonna lie. I don't want to have a conversation with someone who's just gonna lie the whole time. So,
and Lance is a jerk apparently.
all right, Chuck. Moving on to Would You Rather.
Okay.
Right? Would you rather win the league or see your rivals relegated?
It's the league. I'd rather win the league because I feel my rivals getting relegated. It's no glory on me. It's more happening to them more than it's happening to me. So I'd rather win it because it's down to me and what I'm doing. So I'd rather have my team win it. Anyone can get relegated. I mean, what if they beat us and they do the double in the league while getting relegated? They still brag at some point. But the last laugh for me is the league title.
When Barcelona and their financial issues hit and it looked like maybe this team might go belly up, I cannot tell you the joy that coursed through my veins. But I'm not that negative of a person that like I do want to see evil befall someone else versus good things happening to me. It has to be win the league.
Yeah.
It has to be win the league, particularly Arsenal. Like 18 years, man. 18 years. I wouldn't care for United or Spurs or Chelsea getting relegated more than the Arsenal winning the league. So, winning the league.
Okay, in a greatest finish to a game, would you rather hit a match-winning 6 or drain a three-pointer at the buzzer?
When I think of 3-pointers, I'm thinking of that commentary that would go like bang. But it probably has to be a 6 because I think you see more 3-pointers hit to like win games than you do a 6. Like there's a higher degree of difficulty with hitting a 6. Let's say even like winning the World Cup doing that. That would stand out unlike anything else. So it would have to be hitting a 6. Also, I'm South African. Where am I going to hit a 3-pointer?
I think I'd have to agree with the 6 because for me, that show of power, that you just hit it out the park, and this is what is defining in the particular stage of the game. I just won the game. So for me, I think getting that contact, man, bat and ball, nothing sweeter. I mean, if you hit it like into Rosette, that's the one.
I think quite like it. Would you rather win the Ballon d'Or or win the Champions League?
Personally, Ballon d'Or. Simply because things can happen with teams. Like Leeds fell off and they were like nowhere. But I think that like, people even forget that Forest won like European Cups. But if you got your name on the Ballon d'Or, yeah, Ballon d'Or.
Give me that Ballon d'Or. Like, as you say, like if you're part of the Forest team that won the Champions League, no one knows who you are. But everybody remembers a Ballon d'Or winner.
Yep.
And I suppose that says that we're a little like self-involved, but give me the Ballon d'Or, man.
Okay, would you rather take a picture with your favorite athlete or get a shirt of theirs signed?
A picture. Because if I get the shirt signed, if I come back, it's like, hey, I met this person. Did you really? A picture is proof positives right there. And it's going up on my wall forever. And maybe becomes a family heirloom. So, but the jersey as well, but a picture.
I think I'd have to side with you on the picture because when you're explaining the story to your kids and grandkids, you don't have to say, Google who Ronaldo was. It's like, there he is, see who this guy is, and I'm there with him. Also, with signatures, man, people just scribble and back. You've got like a V in a second and like, oh, that's from Beckham. Not really. So,
would you rather live in a world where there's no music or in a world where there is no sport? This is a sport channel, Chuck, so...
Nah, sports would have to go. Simply because I believe with how we live our life and how we have certain things on repeat, like a repeat experience, you can have a dope album and love it now when you hear it now and still play it 5 years from now. Whereas I feel with certain sports and certain sporting moments, that winner, Ronaldo, feels good right now, the rush of it, having experienced it. But now one of my highlights, it loses a bit of its magic, where I feel music upholds that and keeps that for a long time. So sports has to go.
Controversial, but I think I have to agree. Like, in my moments of heartbreak, music was there for me.
When Roger didn't come through.
I mean, also, like, you can take music anywhere with you.
Yeah.
And in any given moment, in any situation, you can just, like, pop on, like, headphones, earphones, and listen to, as you say, something that is eternal. Whereas you're not really going back to that Aguero moment to feel better about yourself or better about the day. So, sport would have to go.
So with godlike abilities, would you rather be all-knowing or all-powerful?
You know the Ballon d'Or thing? Give me the power, man. Like,
yeah.
Also, Chuck, like, I come from, like, the Zulu nation, and conquests are there, like, they're there, so I want to be all-powerful.
I think I'd like to be all-knowing. I think there's an advantage with that. Maybe that knowledge as power comes into effect, that if I know how to defeat you somehow, that's what you see in the movies all the time, that if this guy has got all of the Infinity Stones, he should be unstoppable, but somehow they know something that is his weakness. And so if you know all things, maybe it trumps it. But I think knowing everything would be, maybe it might get boring. I don't know. Or maybe being all powerful, all knowing is boring after a while. But all knowing for an
If you
answer.
cannot run, Chuck, with all of your knowledge, like from my power that knows no bounds,
Then I plan ahead like Batman.
it's a conundrum. Would you rather have the talents of peak Hazard, peak Neymar, or peak Mo Salah?
I think I'll have to go with Neymar. I
Why?
think because when it's peak Neymar, like when you just look at the accolades, he's good with he's nice with the football, man. He makes football look good, and he can also get at like Pele goal scoring numbers. So for me, he is the complete package in terms of what the ultimate footballer would have compared to those three. Mo Salah scores, but I mean, I can't really say much else is like good about his game besides just the goals. Hazard for me, then that's where the conundrum lies. But I think I pick Neymar.
So peak Mo Salah, which I would say is maybe his first season at Liverpool or like a moment towards the end of last year where he was getting shouts as the best player in the world, which has never really happened for those other two guys. So that's enticing. I'm not really sure what peak Neymar is, if I'm being very honest. I'm going to go with Hazard because peak Hazard for me is the quarterfinal, the semi-final of the World Cup 2018. I have never seen that level with those high stakes from any player in my whole time watching football. Peak Hazard.
So is the peak, according to you, to close with the debate, a moment in time that you've witnessed, or when you put all those individual parts together? Because for me, Neymar carried them in the Olympics. Peak Neymar, as I'm saying, is the goal scoring record that he has right now for Brazil. Peak Neymar is how he just turned PSG upside down when he showed up, just hitting pinpoint crosses, taking penalties, free kicks, just doing magic, and what he does in the Brazilian shirt as well.
I'd say he's the most talented, like, of the three. But in terms
so is
of
it
the
peak a
highest
moment?
level of football I've ever witnessed for me, it was Hazard, where against Brazil and also then lesser so, but also still against France, there had no answers for him. Like, he was everywhere on that field, and they had no answers for him. Never quite seen anything, as I'm saying, that level at that stage of the game.
I think in terms of an individual display, I do agree with that because it's akin to Zidane against Brazil in the World Cup as well. You're like running a game. But in terms of talents and when you put everything together, I stick with Neymar. Would you rather have a world, and I know as South Africans we have this whole too often, would you have a world with no electricity or no internet?
No electricity because I'm used to it. Like, at this point it's weird. Like, at this point with living on our phones basically, or constantly being on our phones, there's a companionship. It's unhealthy to actually even admit. There's a companionship that goes with the internet, I suppose. Could very much survive by myself in a cabin in the woods for years if I just had the internet. So, no electricity. Although I suppose I can't charge my devices at that point, but
So, well, if it were to go on forever, I guess
that'd be like
the
solar or
internet.
something. So,
Yeah.
yes, no electricity.
Nah, do it with the phone, man. I'd rather have no internet. I mean, yes, I lose a lot of knowledge, but I'll watch the games on TV. Because I feel that the internet is the next level inconvenience of other things that we can already get, but it's at your whim. Whenever you want to listen to music, you'll listen. Whenever you want to watch a movie, you can, and whatever else you want to participate in. But for me, I think this is the most revolutionary thing we've had as a civilization in the last hundreds of years or whatever. So electricity for me.
All right, finally, would you rather have nobody witness your greatest moment or miss out on the greatest moment everyone else has experienced?
I want to have moments where I feel like I did it and I accomplished what I was set out to do, and it's one of the greatest things. But I want to tell somebody about it. I think that's how we relate as people. We talk and we conversate about our highs and lows. That's how we relate. That's how we connect as people. So to not be able to see what other people have seen and witnessed, it is a FOMO. But if it's the greatest thing ever, I'd have to reserve it for myself maybe, and have nobody see it maybe. I don't know.
I'd rather not have anyone see my greatest moments because I don't care if you know. Like, I know I did it. Like, I know I'm him. That's cool. But also, there is something about the collective of, for example, when we win the World Cup, there's something about being there at the airport together and just like embracing the strangers. Or when you see teams win, like people are crying in the stands. That is that is society at its best. So I'd rather be involved in that, and I'm okay no one seeing my greatest
you did.
moment. So yeah, thank you for watching this. This is Wilson,
This is Ntlagani.
and this is To Up Front.
Hopefully we'll come out with some more content just like this. Just a bit left field, just a bit interesting, but still sport related and insight into us.